Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Painting with Foster the Meeple. This is Zach, and today we're going to be painting William Yorick from Mansions of Madness 2nd edition, another investigator. Getting started here, I'm using my Army Painter War Paints, and I'm going to use Barbarian Flesh for the flesh tone, which on this mini is just the face. After doing the flesh tone, I decided to put down every brown I have onto my palette and start working on the pants. I believe that I started with oak brown, which is nice and dark here. My plan was to kind of get some muddied up, dirty looking pants here because this is a grave digger, so he's out there working, he's got his shovel, he's holding his skull, so you know that he's not, all prim and proper right now. Here you can see just dabbling on some lighter browns here, leaving spots around because I didn't want it to look uniform. Putting some mummy robes onto the palette here, I'm giving the pants some time to dry while I work on the shirt, getting the off-white color locked in. Next up, I took skeleton bone, and I'm sure you can all guess where I'm going with this. I started coloring in the skull. Following this, I took the desert yellow to start working on a base layer for the gloves. If you look in the card art, you can see he's wearing leatherwork gloves, which is why I didn't add any skin tones to his hands. For the jacket, I decided to mix some leather brown and desert yellow as I felt it kind of matched up with the coloration of the jacket that you see on the card art. I already had it on the palette, so I started using the desert yellow to do a base coat on the hair as well. The hair is going to end up a lot more ginger colored by the end of the project. Going in with the oak brown to color in the shaft of the shovel. Here I'm dotting on some fur brown, and this is when I start to think that I could probably make an interesting camouflage design on the pants if I continue doing this sort of pattern. So I take out some army green and I start adding that to the pants as well in the same kind of way. At this point, I start working some of the brown tones back into the pants as well. So I'm going between the different shades of brown, the army green, mixing things together, and that's going to give me this kind of camouflage look, but at the same time, I want everything to look grimy and well used. Next up, I'm taking gunmetal, my metallic paint, and I'm going to do all of the metal bits of the mini, including the belt buckle and the shovel. At this point, I have all my main colors blocked in. So what I'm going to do is go in with the strong tone wash, and first I will hit the metallics because using the washes on these metallics really makes them pop. Then I'm going to get the coat because I want to darken that up and really get some shadow into the folds of that jacket so I have room to bring up the highlights, get some on the shirt with the mummy robes to make it look a little dirtier. Now really control, so you don't want to let things pool up here or it's just going to make a mess. So you have to look at where it's pooling up and then wick the excess away and put it to somewhere you need it. Like I used a little bit in each eye socket of the skull to get some shadow there. Now I'm going to use lava orange, but it's too vibrant on its own, so I'm going to mix it with some brown. This is where I'm going to start with the hair. I right now have some desert yellow on, not the right color at all. And here, not really the final tone I'm looking for. It's looking more like Garfield the cat. I want more of a Chuck Norris. So I'm going to darken this up and then come back for some highlights later. But this is getting closer to the final coloration. For the eyes, start with a blob of matte white in each eye socket. Then you're going to come in with the matte black. I'm taking the excess off on my thumbnail before doing a small line in each eye socket. Then I'm going to come in with the barbarian flesh tone and I'm going to trim the eyes to size so they don't look like giant anime eyes. After using the wash, the jacket is a darker color than I want for my final result. So I'm going back to my wet palette and I'm taking those different shades of brown and the desert yellow and the different mixes I have, and I'm lightening up the whole thing here. Now, I'm also making sure to use my lightest tones on the highest raised areas and the edges of the coat to kind of make them stand out a little bit more. Next, I'm going to take the desert yellow and do a light dry brushing over the entire jacket. Off screen, of course, I'm getting the excess paint off on some paper towel. And this is just going to lighten up the whole jacket. And it's really starting to look close to what I want, which is a really well used and broken in set of clothes on this character here. Here I'm going to use some brown tones to dry brush over the pants, giving them another layer of filth. Here you can see me taking out some plate mail metal. I'm going to use that to do a little bit of edge highlighting on the shovel. I'm going to add a couple of quick swipes along the surface of the shovel to represent some scratches. Next, I'm adding some dry rust effect to the shovel because much like the rest of the clothes the character has here, I don't envision this shovel as something that's brand new. Everything on this character is a little bit weather worn and well used. Adding in a few highlights to the skull using the skeleton bone and mixing it a little bit with some white, trying to bring out the highlights just on the very upmost features of the front of the skull to make them stand out. Here I'm just using some matte black to color in the base of the mini. Now online I've seen a lot of people with the clear acrylic bases for the miniatures in this game, and I think it looks great when you can see the terrain of the tiles through those bases, so that's an upgrade I'd like to do in the future. Finally, a few more highlights, especially here, just doing some highlights on the top of all the buttons on the coat and the shirt. And here's the final result. I think that this is my favorite sculpt of any of the investigators from the base game. I haven't seen all of the ones from the expansions though, so why don't you leave a comment and tell me who's your favorite investigator from Mansions of Madness. Thanks for watching. We have new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, and check out our other videos. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.